Mr. Landsbergis, how do you see the situation in Georgia at the moment?
It is not the situation in Georgia only. It is a very bad situation in Europe and for Europe's future. It is badly promising.
You sound very worried about the deteriorating relations between the EU and NATO on one side and Russia on the other side.
And also internal relations inside of EU are damaged. I may say that Russia blows up Europe into parts, because if Europe is not able to have a common stance, even to use exact wording and valuation, and to take steps of aid and assistance to attack Georgia. Georgia's tanks are not crawling around Moscow. Georgia is not bombing Russia. You know how the situation is, but why Europeans don't dare to say about what is going?
What should be the proper European response in your view?
Europe should request, as it was sometimes already said, request the full and immediate withdrawal of invaders. They are not peacekeepers. Stop the mockery about ourselves. They are invaders, and they have to go out immediately and unconditionally. Now they are dictating conditions, and Europeans are listening. We are failing, but not because Russia is stronger, but because Europe is weak. And Russia never has any respect to any weak or weaker. I noticed very important information, that only one European political personality which was respected by Stalin was Marshal Mannerheim, and Stalin respected him.
Why was that?
Him? Because Mannerheim was clear-minded, outspoken, and a resolute man to defend his country, his and his country's values, freedom, independence, even having such a prevailing force against him. Europeans are not so weak, really, as they are weak in spirit. That is a pity and very much worrying. Europe is going down, and Russia wants to put Europe down, and it's doing. Georgia is one of possible means to do it, to destroy Europe.
You're saying this is the real objective of the Russian invasion into Georgia?
One of objectives. Of course, it is also the proof of previous ultimatums that if Russia is demanding something, for example, that Georgia cannot enter NATO, and Russia will use all means to prevent it. Now they showed. And if it is accepted, then West is capitulating against such ultimatum style.
When you look at Europe in the last week, it appears as if Germany and Italy and also France, to a certain extent, are the ones conducting a path of appeasement in a way, instead of being very outspoken against Russia, like the United States. What do you want to see to change when Europeans speak out in public, especially the leaders of Germany, France, and Italy?
Nobody can change the behavior of Russian lobbyists in high positions of the Union. Only their own people, only free press, only media. If they are criticized and blamed about weakness and appeasement, similar to Munich of 1938, and no idea about the lessons, what is after, who is next after Georgia. It was already said, next is Ukraine, then Baltic states, Poland maybe. Now they are threatening to attack Poland. When Baltic states were candidates to NATO, we have been threatened also that it will be prevented by all means. Anyway, Boris Yeltsin was there, then a president, and he kept the honesty and dignity. So it was left as words, and finally Russia agreed. But now they show that such a threat to use all means may be reality. And what if about Poland? What if after Georgia is sacrificed, Georgia's freedom, of course Georgia will left as a satellite of Russia. But if Georgia's freedom is sacrificed to avoid the war, the Great War, the next is Israel. Will Israel be sacrificed to avoid the war with Iran? Let those European leaders think about the future course of events if Russia is not stopped today.
Are you worried about Russia in general, or more specifically about Vladimir Putin, who looks like he's really living up to his image as the new Tsar of Russia?
No, now it is very difficult to differ. Usually, when we speak about Russia, we have in mind the Russian government, leadership, authority, not a common Russian people, of course. I would not like to blame the Russian people that Russians are aggressors, but those Russians in Kremlin, they are aggressors. They are bloody people. They have no moral limits to implement their plans and goals. Only force or only calculation what is profitable or not may stop them. No incitements that be goodies, don't behave badly. It's for nothing. They are kidding on it.
How do you see Europe's future move forward now?
If Europe is put down today, in the case of Georgia, the future is badly promising. Europe will become the satellite of Russia. single countries first. And they are on the way already.